Hello, beautiful people. Gonna do a video. This probably will not be super long, but I'm doing it because one of my subscribers commented yesterday about making a video, suggesting that I make a video talking about what motivates me to keep exercising, and I thought that would, that's a good question and a good topic, and so I really appreciate Lava Girl. Thank you for the suggestion, because it's nice too, because it actually gives me a topic to talk about. Because I know I keep talking about how I want to make specific videos with various topics, so this is, will be good practice. And I didn't write anything out or sketch anything out, any sort of outline, but I mean, it's, I guess it doesn't, it's not complex for me, so it shouldn't be that difficult to just kind of freestyle it, so to speak. But yeah, so yeah, thank you. For me, kind of the main thing, well, I guess I'll talk about kind of what motivates me, and then what I feel would be, I guess I'll generalize it as well. So for me, I feel that it's been helpful, kind of getting started way back when. It was helpful to identify reasons as to why I wanted to exercise, and to have really good solid reasons and concise reasons. So it's all great, fine and dandy to be like, I want to lose weight, or I want to get some muscle, but I think it's better to specify or be specific, more specific, and it kind of reminds me of setting SMART goals. The SMART is an acronym. If I remember correctly, it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, and then I think relevant or reasonable, and then time delineated. So it's like, I want to lose 20 pounds by, in 3 months. Or, I'm going to gain, 5 pounds in a month or two, and to really identify what you want to get out of it, because when you're first getting started, it can be hard to get that motivation to want to exercise or work out or do whatever, and so by having a really good reason, that can be helpful during times like those, so you can remind yourself oh, hey, for me, I have always worked out primarily for my mental health. For me, I found that exercising, working out in particular, lifting weights, I should say, has been the best thing that I can do for my depression and my anxiety, hands down. If I had to pick between my antidepressant, my Wellbutrin, or being able to exercise ever again, I would pick exercise. It's that important for me personally, for my mental health. So, I have a really good reason to have started working out and to continue to work out, because there's a huge day and night difference when I consistently work out and when I'm not consistently working out. So I think identifying that is a really good way to start. And then also, I think it's helpful to, I guess kind of related to that, is set reasonable goals. But you do want to set some amount of goals. So not only have a reason why you want to exercise, but goals. And I kind of talked about that a little bit too, with the SMART goals. But I think that's helpful because it gives you an idea of what kind of direction to go towards. But also, it is helpful because, you can kind of track your progress and then see if you're making good progress, or not. And then, you might have to adjust But also that kind of plays into motivation too, and that's I guess I'll talk about now. I find that for me it's helpful that when I have goals or some intention of what I want to get out of exercise, that I'm paying attention to my progress, and I'm like recognizing the hard work, because you can recognize the hard work you put in. So it's like, at some point you might be like, well, why am I working out, or why am I exercising? But it's like, oh, well, yeah, I've made substantial progress already. Like, I was deleting some of my videos on my iPhone here so I can make room for this video. And I took some progress pictures December 13th, so like 6 weeks, well, yeah, about 6 weeks ago. Wow, holy shit, I did not realize, I guess I didn't take pictures today, so I can't compare them exactly side by side, but from what I'm seeing, my appearance-wise, there's like a huge difference in just 6 weeks. Like, I'm actually really surprised about how different it was. Like, I have noticed I've been putting on more, I seem more muscly, and like I seem like I'm leaning out in my stomach, but I didn't realize how big of a difference. So I'm not saying you have to have progress pics per se, but some way of kind of looking at your progress and being able to like look back, because that motivates the hell out of me. Like, it's just like, wow, like those pictures look like, I was surprised when I saw the date. I was like, oh, those might be from like, October or November. I didn't realize it was, 2 weeks into December. I mean, that's not very long ago. So that's super awesome. So it motivates me, and then also lets me know that what I'm doing is working really well, and to continue, because otherwise, if you don't keep track of that, then you might keep doing the same thing over and over. That's not giving you as many results as you possibly could, so it's good to always be mindful of that. But it motivates me to just also see that progress. So that's another suggestion of mine, is just, have goals and some way of tracking those goals and that progress, and looking back and just being, astounded by work. I mean, again, I'm just really surprised at those pictures. Like, oh my God, wow. So let's see here. Kind of more of a general tip. I think it's helpful to find, and this is why I was, like thinking of the goals, because you want to be reasonable. I think it's important to find some sort of exercise that you can enjoy doing, or at least something that isn't like, something that you really dislike doing. So like for some people, lifting weights, like that's not their cup of tea, like at all. So if that person were to set a goal and be like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every day and I'm going to lift weights for 60 minutes each day. If that's not something they enjoy doing, it's going to be a lot harder to stick with that. It's like, yeah, that might be like a good way of getting in shape, but if it's something that you don't enjoy, there's a good chance you're not going to do it, or at least not be consistent with it. So, I think it's more important to find something that you enjoy doing. So it's like, instead of that, it's like, I like walking, or I like to ride my bike. So it's like, a better goal, at least especially just starting off, a better goal would be to, okay, I'm going to walk, like 10,000 steps a day. Or I'm going to ride my bike for 45 minutes, every day. And if that's something that you more enjoy doing, you're more likely to stick with it. And also, kind of on that note, I think it's helpful too when you're first starting off to set, not to get too crazy with it. So, like set small goals. Even if they might seem silly, it's like, you know, I'm gonna walk for 5 minutes, or I'm gonna ride my bike for 5 minutes, you know, every day, or even every other day, you know, for the first week or two. And that way you're more likely to do that, versus like, oh, I'm gonna go, you know, I'm gonna go to the gym for 2 hours every day, because then when you get down to it, you know, you're gonna be like, well, I don't want to go to the gym for 2 hours, so I guess I'm just not gonna go. Versus, you know, it's like, you know, I'm gonna go to the gym for 10 minutes, yeah, even 10 minutes, because that's kind of another thing too that I find helpful is, once you get started, it's a lot easier to keep doing it, versus for, you know, for me personally, and I feel like this is the case for a lot of people, you know, it's that first getting started part that is the most difficult, but then once you get started, it's a lot easier to just continue. So, you know, by setting those small goals, or even if you have a bigger goal, you know, like, there's been times where it's like, you know, I don't want to go to the gym, so, you know, I might be like, okay, and I don't want to walk, or I don't want to do anything, you know, I'm feeling pretty depressed. It's like, okay, well, how about we just go out and walk for 5 minutes? You know, it's like not a big time commitment. So there's a lot less of a barrier to getting started. But then, you know, so you go out, you walk for 5 minutes, the 5 minutes is up. Typically it's just like, well, I'm already out here, I'm already walking, you know, it's like, I guess I'll just continue a bit longer. And even if that's for another 5 minutes, you know, or another, you know, 25 minutes, at least that's some amount of exercise that you accomplished. So, you know, starting slower, you know, and working your way up, I find is helpful. And you know, not everyone has to apply all of this to themselves. I mean, there's some people that, you know, can be like, you know, I don't like weightlifting per se, but you know, I'm gonna stick to it. Like, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna start off going to the gym for an hour 3 times a week. I mean, if you can do that, like, that's great, you know. So I'm all for that. But if you find yourself that to be someone that sets goals or does stuff like that, but then has a hard time following through with it, you know, set something smaller, something more reasonable, and something that you would be more likely to do and enjoy doing, versus, you know, something that you think is the best. Now, for me, I'm pretty lucky. I'm pretty fortunate where weightlifting is something that I enjoy a lot. And especially, like, for me, like, just having music in and, you know, taking like a pre-workout and going to the gym, for me, I find that entertaining. And just the act of lifting weights, I find to be very exciting and just like therapeutic. So for me, you know, that's, fortunately, I have something that I enjoy doing and something that can produce pretty good results. So yeah, so that's another suggestion of mine. And I think, you know, what has helped me too is, like, as I continue to be consistent with working out, or even inconsistent, you know, there's been gaps here and there, but kind of going back to it whenever I can, I find it's a lot easier to, like, once you build that habit of going to the gym, it's a lot easier to do so versus when you first start off. Because when you first start off, I mean, it's like, let's just say for myself right now, you know, I work very little, and I don't really do too much else at the current moment. So it's like my usual day would just be consist of staying at home or sitting for most of the day. So it's like that has become habitual. So the idea of getting up and going to the gym and spending some time in the gym, that's going to be like, that's, you know, going to be like, wow, that's a pretty big difference of what I've been doing. So it's going to be hard to stick with it. But now for me, it's like almost automatic. I mean, I wake up and you know, I aim to I pretty much like don't have to even think about it. I mean, I still try to like practice mindfulness because I don't like running on autopilot, but still, you know, it's like I wake up, I have the intention of eating breakfast, and then, you know, an hour and a half later, taking my pre-workout and going to the gym. You know, it's just like I don't have to even think about it really. So, but that's because I've been doing it for quite a long time, and you know, it's certainly gotten a lot easier the longer I've done it. And again, you know, I haven't been perfect. I've never had complete, you know, perfect attendance my whole entire life. There's definitely been gaps of weeks or months, even years. I mean, after my whole life blew up after 2019 with all the nitrous oxide and stuff, essentially before I moved in here, I hadn't worked out in like over 2 years. But even then, it was still a lot easier for me to pick it up because it had been a habit at some point in my life. So, you know, I guess the point is, you know, keeping in mind that, you know, yeah, you might not really be stoked on going to the gym or going out for a walk, you know, or I guess for the sake of simplicity, you know, following your goal, you might not be interested in doing that so much in the beginning, but if you can remind yourself and be like, well, the more I do this, the easier it's going to be, that might be helpful. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the main things I can think of that help with motivation. You know, so again, you know, identifying a good reason, setting measurable specific goals, especially those that are reasonable. Even for myself, you know, now I've been doing this for a while, I'm not going to set a goal and be like, oh, I'm going to gain or I'm going to lose 20 pounds in a week. You know, that's not reasonable. That's not going to happen. So I might not stick with it because I might get discouraged, or, you know, just set myself up for disappointment and failure down the road. So setting reasonable goals, you know, starting slow, and then just keeping in mind that the more you do it, the easier it's going to be to continue doing it. And to find an exercise activity that you enjoy doing, because exercise can come in so many different ways. I mean, walking, biking, running, jogging, weightlifting, swimming, playing sports, you know, tennis, basketball, football, all of that stuff is, you know, exercise. Doing calisthenics at home, I'm trying to think of other stuff too. Rowing, I mean, there's so many different ways of doing exercise. So, you know, finding something that you enjoy doing, or at least don't hate doing, I think is pretty helpful. And I'm trying to think too, if there's anything else, but that's kind of the main bits that kind of motivate me. There's a lot more I could talk about, like kind of fitness, but I kind of want to stick to the specific topic of just motivation, and kind of what helps me to go to the gym consistently. So, and if I didn't say so too, keeping track of your progress and looking at your progress, and, you know, just being like, wow, you know, I've been making good progress, and, you know, that's pretty motivating in and of itself. I guess one last thing too would be to find some way to reward yourself, and I think that's applicable to pretty much like any goals that you set, or any facet of life. I think it's really it can be helpful to reward yourself for sticking with, you know, the goal, even if you don't quite make full progress, to reward your effort. So for me, you know, that might entail like maybe going out and like getting some fast food, like at one of my fast food places, or favorite fast food places, you know, because I've you know, lost X amount of weight. Or even more simple, you know, I've gone to the gym you know, this many days, like X amount of days. For me, it's almost daily, but you know, I want to say X because, you know, not everyone's going to go daily, and you know that might not be reasonable, but you know, whatever you set your goal to, you stick with it. You know, reward yourself and like, okay, I'm gonna go get, you know, a nice big cheeseburger or something like that. That could be pretty helpful too in helping establish those habits and patterns, and you know, sticking with it. So yeah, so again, thank you, Lava Girl, for the suggestion. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this has been somewhat helpful. You know, because I really believe that exercise is like just, and not, maybe not for everyone, but I just feel like for a lot of people there is a lot of benefit to somewhat regular and consistent exercise. I mean, not just physically but mentally. Yeah, you know, you're improving your health and you're improving your overall well-being and your mental health. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good benefits to it, and you know, not everyone might get the same benefit, but I feel like most people will get some benefit to some amount. So yeah, so I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video too, because I said this in the last video, but I forgot to mention, you know, asking if you like the video to like hit the like button and subscribe. Like I said, I was gonna do it in the beginning of the next few videos, but I kind of forgot. So, whoops. But yeah, if you liked the video, hit the like button, and comment. Yeah, I love reading the comments. You know, definitely comment, and if you have a topic that you would like me to discuss, I'd be all for that. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see everyone next time.